Wednesday, everyone. I'm Esther.
I'm Juji.
I'm Elijah.
And I'm Alex.
And we're here to remind you what day it is. Alright, guys. So, before we get into our first segment of the day, or of the week, which is always new this week, I want to ask you guys a question. Hopefully it's a simple question, but I don't really know. So, as you know, the holidays are coming up, and we celebrate Christmas here. And so I wanted to know, what are your guys' favorite holiday song? If you had to choose one. If you don't like Christmassy music, then you still have to choose one.
Can I choose one? I definitely wouldn't call it my favorite. Can I choose one that I was recently introduced to that amuses me?
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it's called, but there's a song by Sia. She did a whole Christmas album this year. And there's one, I don't remember what it's called, but something about puppies. And the whole song is just about how great puppies are. And how getting a puppy for Christmas is great, but remember that there are a lot of responsibility. And, like, that's basically the whole song.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this on the radio, or is this just
I don't know if it's on the radio, but Drew showed it to me the other day. It's on Spotify. And he's like, this is my new favorite Christmas song. I'm like, okay, Drew.
You know what's funny about that is I was like reading like a comment section on Facebook where like people were like talking about puppies, and they're like, oh, just remember, if you get one this Christmas, it's a 15-year long responsibility. I don't know if that's, I don't know. It's just sort of everyone's talking about that, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, is there a lot of people out there buying like surprise puppies for people than not expecting the responsibility?
I thought it was like more of like a Hollywood, made up kind of thing.
But this
like,
year it seems to be like a big thing.
There's a funny song by The Killers called "Don't Shoot Me, Santa."
Oh, that's a good one. I like Juji's choice.
Ooh,
what about you guys?
You know what? And on the lines of maybe like parody Christmas songs, I like the Weird Al Christmas song about Santa Claus going AWOL.
Oh, man,
I probably know
every
every single word. I know, and it's not something that I'm like every Christmas I go, oh man, I gotta listen to the song. But it is definitely one of my top favorite like parody Christmas related songs, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I probably knew
Yeah.
like every word to it at one point.
Esther, what's yours?
I don't know. Actually, I didn't really think about my
You
answer.
asked the question, Esther. You should have an answer prepared.
Yeah, well, because there's this one song I keep hearing, and I like it, but I forgot what it's called, and I also forgot what it sounds like, but I know I like it.
Do you know who sings it at least?
No.
Do you know any
I have
lyric
no idea.
to it?
It's like a Christmas song. It doesn't even sound like one. It's weird.
Well, I'd hope
No.
it's at least like a Christmas song, because that was your question.
What song?
I don't know.
All right, so there's an
Come up
awesome
with
mystery
something.
song. All right, well,
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
yeah, let us know later on in the podcast if you remember. New this week, for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, New This Week is a segment where we talk about something either new we learned or did this past week. So would anybody like to start off? All right, so for me this week, there's a bunch of little random things, but I suppose the big one that I should probably go with is not yesterday. If we recorded the podcast on Sunday like we normally do, it would have been yesterday. But this past Saturday was my 27th birthday, so that was a first time being 27. Yeah, that's a good sound for the 27th birthday. Claudia, Alex's girlfriend, put it in the best way possible when she said, 27 is the birthday where you stop telling people how old you are.
Yes. I was there when she wrote that too, actually.
Which I absolutely loved in a heartbreaking sort of way. So.
Yeah, you're almost 30.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. I know. That was my my major new this week. Oh, while you guys are still thinking, another little new this week is guess who got engaged?
Who?
Ooh.
Am I supposed
Jimmy.
to guess? Jimmy?
Oh, I was afraid you were going to say you, and I was like, oh my God.
Just
I was waiting.
spontaneous engagement to some random woman you
Yeah,
meet.
no. that's the thing is, like, I knew if I brought this up but left it ambiguous, Esther is going to say some sort of smart-ass comment about it, and I was just waiting for it, and that's why I left a little bit of a pause, and then she didn't say anything right away. I was like, oh, darn, I knew she was going to, and then you did, so thank you. No, it's Jimmy Wilson. He just got engaged. Hopefully that wasn't a secret. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but...
Who is he dating?
Oh, goodness. You know, I still have yet to meet her. I'll be finally going to visit him and his now fiancée tomorrow. But, goodness, I can't even remember her name, which I feel so bad about. But to be fair, as I said, I haven't actually met her in person. They've been dating for a number of years now. But I just see him so infrequently. He's always been a bit aloof, and then I've been busy. So, congratulations to them. What?
Yeah, congrats. When's the big day?
I have no idea. I'll find out more details that I'll then let you guys know about probably next podcast, as long as I end up meeting with him tomorrow. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a little story. So, I was doing some research this week about some Portuguese culture. Specifically Azorian culture,
as you do.
And when I took the trip a few years back to Azores,
tell us more.
When I took the trip to Azores a few years ago, I noticed a lot of imagery of these two women like in hoods. It just seemed to be like in pairs a lot, and it was like really kind of creepy and eerie. There was like these ominous like two women, and so I just assumed maybe there was some kind of folklore attached to like two women wearing hoods. So I did a little bit of Googling this week to kind of figure out what this whole thing was about. Come to find out, it's not necessarily like a story behind it. It's more of just like a past cultural thing. So like earlier on, Portuguese, they migrated over to the islands, and they kind of created their own culture over there, a little bit separate from the mainland Portuguese. And what I found out was that these hoods were these hoods that were handmade by different people on different islands, and they were passed down from like mother to daughter. And the wording for it in Portuguese is capote e capello, and sometimes referred to as the a mulher do capote e capello, which just means the Azorian woman, or basically the women in the hood, basically. And the interesting fact about these hoods is, and I kind of didn't believe it, but it makes sense. Okay, so I can't show you a picture, otherwise I would, and it would be a lot easier to understand this. But basically, these hoods are towering, like they're huge. Like maybe from like the bottom of the hood to the top of a hood is like almost like 1.5 feet in length. That's how tall they are. They're like these ridiculously tall hoods. And I read in the description that many times they were made out of like wool, and to hold up the hood, they inserted whale bones, like the bones of like a whale. I'm assuming maybe like the back or like the vertebrae or something like that of a whale to hold the hood up. So like that's how legit these things were. And I thought that was really interesting.
Wow.
Anyway, you know, even though there isn't any spooky background or folklore behind all this, just looking at all these photos of like people, like, because there's some older ones. I guess Mark Twain went to the Azores back in like 1869, and he actually wrote about his time in the Azores and talked about the women he saw with these hoods, and thought it was just like the most odd thing because the hoods were just so huge, you know what I mean? The only thing I can compare it to is probably like if Princess Amidala had like a weird costume, you know, like Star Wars Episode 1 princess. Yeah. It would totally fit that repertoire of like costume, like oddball, like headdresses, and weird things like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about making like a short story about it because I think it's just interesting. It's like kind of too bad there isn't some kind of funny or spooky like lore behind this. You know, you've got this whole setup where it's like, you know, passed down from generation, you know. And actually, the Azores, or at least like a lot of like from what I get is that like there's a lot of like almost Sixth Sense and almost like a witchcraftian sort of vibe I get from some of the older people who live on the islands.
Mm-hmm.
Like Claudia's aunt, she practiced like magic for like a time.
Oh, weird.
Oh, your great grandmother did too? Yeah, which is really funny because I remember her aunt, she was talking about her aunt, and her aunt used to be like a nun, but then she like left, right? No? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, that's hearsay. Well, that's my story this week. So, does anyone else have something they learned this week?
I watched a few episodes of One Punch Man.
Oh, how was that?
It was funny. It was really funny. Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it. I've heard of it, but I have not yet seen it.
Oh, okay. So this makes it much less interesting.
Oh.
Because you haven't seen it. Because we could have talked about it, but we can't. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've done.
That's pretty much it?
Yeah.
Well, what about your art project that you're working on right now? That was particularly creepy to find. The
What?
one with the
Well,
black sparkles.
I mean, it's
Well,
not really new this week, because I mentioned last week that I was putting glitter on it.
Yeah, you didn't, I don't think you mentioned what you were drawing, though. Like,
Oh, okay. So it's like weird taxidermy animals. They're kind of like creepy, but also like a little bit cute.
Kind of like Juji.
Wow. Thanks.
You're welcome.
It was ducklings, but then it's somehow changed to this.
What about you,
Last
Esther?
year? Well, I didn't really do much this week, except I finished most of my classes, so that's new.
Oh, that's true. You're
I
halfway
have one more
finished through your
class
junior year.
left, and it's annoying. I was gonna go to Cape Cod on Saturday, but we had that big snowstorm, so I couldn't go. Or not the snowstorm. It was just like snow, but still.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this big storm, but as it always turns out, it was just, I don't know, underwhelming. This week, I want to try a new segment, one that I was going to try last week, and then we didn't get a chance to, and it's called Is That a Fact? And it's a new segment where I read off a strange fact or lie, and you guys have to figure out whether or not it is true. So it's a fairly short segment, but this week's fact or lie is snails have teeth.
They
Do
have
snails
teeth.
Do they have teeth?
Are you saying snails have teeth, or are you saying they don't?
He's saying what we're supposed to say if it's real or not. I don't think they have teeth, but
My fact is that snails
I
have
think-
teeth, and whether it's a lie or a fact is what you guys
I
have to
think-
determine.
Snails have teeth.
All right, so we have 1 and 1, and then Alex, what's your? How do you weigh in on this?
Let me check Google real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
No. No.
I'm gonna say they do, but that's just sort of I'm just thinking, oh well, what a weird question. Like maybe they do. This is sort of like a weird fact.
yeah.
My intention is for them always to be weird facts or weird lies, enough that you'll consistently not be
Enough
sure.
where you can't tell the difference.
But this week, it is actually true. Snails have teeth.
Yeah. I figured you'd put like a true one for the first one, but I don't know. I just didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, nope, it's terrifying. Not only do they have teeth, but each row of teeth, yes, that's right, there's more than one row. Each row of teeth has 33 teeth, and there are 80 rows.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm picturing that. Yeah.
Yep, yeah. What's even better is you can Google it, and it's terrifying. And they all kind of point inward, and it's how they kind of like latch on to their food. I don't know why they need that many to latch on to their food, but they got him. So that's our new little fact for this week.
Gross.
Where
Yeah.
are the teeth? Like, where are they?
In the mouth.
Where's the mouth?
Now that's a fair question, because of that I'm not sure.
Is it on the
face.
bottom of them, or is
I don't
it
know.
like?
Maybe think of Gary the snail. Hopefully,
Oh, yes.
hopefully they got that right.
Yeah, no, they totally did the snail anatomically correct. That's definitely
Yeah.
SpongeBob was great about that. Like him being a sea sponge and looking like a sponge you would use in the sink. Totally, yeah, spot on.
I always
100%.
assumed that he actually was like a scrubbing sponge, and that someone just dropped it in the water.
Maybe.
Of course, then he would float, but whatever. You got to
I
extend
had a
your
friend
belief a
in
little bit.
middle school. Actually, it was our next door neighbor, Renee. She had given me a sponge that she painted to look like SpongeBob, like a yellow sponge. It was kind of cool. On to our next segment, Song of the Week. This week, I have a song by Jenny Owen Youngs, and the song is called Pirates, and it's off the album An Unwavering Band of Lights. It's a very good song. That one's actually, I think, on my jams playlist as well, and definitely worth a listen. I do have to say, last week we had mentioned that there's a song called "You Are a Pirate" by originally it was on the show Lazy Town, and then Ailstorm did a cover of that. I was not able to find either version of the song on Spotify to make us a
What a
playlist.
shame! Really?
I know, I'm a little bummed out. Because we've been pretty good so far about being able to find whatever song we come up with and put it on that playlist. So when I do finally post it, that song will be missing. So, with all the tweets that we currently get, no angry ones out there about the lack of Lazy Town songs. On to our last question of the day. So, with it being the holiday seasons, instead of really having listener questions, because it's always a pain in the butt to actually get people to send them in, I have another question that I came up with on the theme of this month, which is, what is the strangest gift you have ever given? Strangest one I've ever given occurred to me the other day. So at one point, I was walking through a Salvation Army, and I found two large posters that were on slabs of wood, one of Brad Pitt and one of Tom Cruise.
Oh, right.
Yep. And it was headshots from the movie Interview with a Vampire. And these were super close-up headshots, because you can even see Brad Pitt's unibrow and everything, and it was great. And I saw them and instantly knew I had to do something cool with them. Or terrifying. Actually, terrifying is a better word for it. So, I brought them
Why
home.
did I get rid of them?
I
Why
don't
did I get
know.
rid of mine?
I don't know why you got rid of yours.
I
Something
should have
like
kept it. What the heck?
in our move or something, we end up getting rid of it, and it was very dumb of us. But anyhow, so what I did was I cut out the mouth section and then put it on a track and wheel system, and then put a little string on it, and then attached the inner guts of one of those cards that you can record it saying something to the back of this poster. And so what basically would happen is every time you pull down the mouth, Brad Pitt would say happy birthday to Alex. He'd be like, happy birthday, Alex, in my best.
What he said was, I'm Brad Pitt, and I love you, Alex.
Oh, that's what he did.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. I made it creepier than that.
Yeah, that's really creepy. Now I remember why we got rid of it.
So yeah, that would be the strangest gift I've given somebody. There's others that I've done. I made a cardboard. I made the box for a gift to make it look like a vacuum cleaner, and then I filled it with Butters from Wendy's and gave that to a friend. the whole thing was just full of butters, little butter things from Wendy's.
Can't believe I'm the only one that remembered that. That was what that said.
Yeah, no, I clearly I didn't remember exactly what I had it say either.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing was kind of creepy. So what about you guys? What's the strangest
I just
gift?
think that was hilarious.
Oh man, I don't think I have one.
No strange gifts?
Not that I've given. Clearly, I've gotten many weird ones. Probably all from you.
Come on, Juji.
I just
Was
can't.
it Juji or Esther that gave me like a orange pencil case when they were like in middle school?
I gave you a scarf with basketballs on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, I did make you that Doctor Who scarf.
No, but see that was
I don't know if that's really
really
strange.
cool.
That's just kind of cool.
No, that makes sense, and that was cool. And Esther, you made me one with ducks on it, didn't you?
Made you what?
A scarf with ducks on it,
Oh well,
or was that Juji?
I did make an origami duck for you once.
Like just as a random gift, or was that part of
Just
like a
random,
Christmas
just
gift?
a random
Just
gift.
random?
It was like,
Alright.
yeah. Do you remember in that video Alex made, the Esther years?
Oh yeah.
I was like, I made an origami duck for Elisha. Oh my god. Just
I
say
forgot
it
about that.
together. That's just creepy. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I feel
wait,
it's
wait,
probably
wait.
something, but I
No.
don't remember.
Didn't we made
Alright,
that
Alex has
Christmas
I
video for
hear the sound of
Duncan?
epiphany.
Didn't we?
What?
I said we made that Christmas video for Duncan that one year.
We did.
So I guess that counts as a interesting gift or odd gift.
You want to explain that a little bit further?
Well, what did I do? Did I fracture my arm or my wrist or something that year? Falling on ice because we were running around town trying to get testimonials from people with Charlie.
Yeah,
We-
you did something to your wrist.
Yeah. I slipped on some ice because we went around town. We tried interviewing different people. Charlie was the guy walking around, and he was basically trying to find out what the meaning of Christmas was. And so we just called people up. We went to the mall, tried to get some random interviews, but like obviously nobody really wanted the camera on them.
Oh right.
Because we were just like a couple of young kids, and but we ended up getting a lot of testimonials, and it was so funny because we just ran around town and we just got different people saying like what they thought the meaning of Christmas was.
When you asked Santa what the meaning
and
of
Duncan
Christmas
actually was one of them, and then we dedicated the video to Duncan.
So yeah, that's a weird gift to give somebody. I think it was really cool, but yeah, also weird. What about you, Esther? We went with a basketball scarf. That was a bit weird because
Yeah.
I don't play or watch or do anything basketball related. I'm lucky I even know what a basketball is.
I just thought of something that I drew. I drew a picture for someone. It was like a Secret Santa or something, and I drew him a picture of like Grumpy Cat dressed as Harry Potter. Because I knew he liked Grumpy Cat and Harry Potter, so I just drew it for him.
See, that counts. That definitely counts as a
Yeah.
weird gift.
Guys, I
But
just remembered
that's
one I
nifty,
forgot
though.
about. My connection is kind of weak over here, but I just remembered one that I completely forgot about, like a weird gift that I gave.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely then.
Yeah, so one year for Christmas, I gave TJ a hand-drawn painting of this one guy who was in the band called Senior Discount.
Oh my god, that's a throwback.
And we got the painting from the guy's house when... Okay, well, I don't want to say it exactly, but he got in trouble with the law, and his landlord evicted him and was tossing out all of his stuff into a dumpster that he had left because his family didn't go to pick it up. And in there, and he was one of the band members, and in there was two paintings. Both of them were paintings of him in the nude. Obviously not done probably with him posing, but they were supposed to be like nude drawings of him, and his friends made them for him, and they presented it in a video. And the funny thing was TJ was really into Senior Discount, like he had all of their movies and stuff, And so, like, I just so happened to be there at the clean out and was like, as I was about to throw them in the dumpster, I was like, hey, wait a minute. What if I held on to these? And then so that it was really close to Christmas, or it was probably like November or something when this happened. So I ended up taking one of them, bringing it home. Of course, the landlord saw me. We knew her. She's like a family friend. And she was like, are you sure you want this? Like, because it was like, you know, it's supposed to be like a naked drawing. Considering the circumstances, I thought she probably thought I was really weird for wanting it. But it ended up being like an awesome Christmas gift because he knew exactly what it was. And then he looked at me and he was just like, he's like, holy shit, like, how did you get this? Like, how did you find this? And it was just the coolest story. But anyway, that's my weird gift. That's the weirdest gift I've ever given.
We've come to the end of our show, as always. Thanks to our 2 listeners, our mom and Uncle Richie, for listening in. Esther, want to tell the folks at home where they can find us and how they can send in listener questions and suggestions?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, YouTube, gmail.com at Pirate Wednesdays. And then you can find us on Twitter at Pirate Wednesday without the S. And you can also rate and subscribe and leave comments.
And I hear fan and friend and basically family member of the show, Reed, might be setting up a Tumblr for us and sometime in the near future. So look out for that. So this week, I'd like to promote our cousin again, Marseille. She has a company called Dino Roar Clothing. She's on Etsy, Instagram, Facebook. You can also find her at Dino Roar Clothing at Gmail, I believe, as well. And as we've talked about in the past, Dino Roar is a dinosaur boutique for adults, children, and even pets. If you aren't a dinosaur lover, she has other items as well, but most of her themes are around dinosaurs. And so she does everything from really cool hoodies for your kids or yourself or for your dogs or cats to she makes little dino tails, even ones for a little elf on the shelf. So the elf on the shelf can have its own little dino tail. She has so many different products, so many really cool things. I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a really unique, interesting, and fun gift to give to somebody or for yourself during this Christmas season, definitely check her stuff out. Again, she's on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy, and that's Dino Roar Clothing, RAWR. All right, without further delay, Jude, do you want to sign us off?
Don't forget to shave your belly with a rusty razor.